Okay. I'm Jessica Mullins from Flat Gap Elementary, and I teach 5th grade math and science. And my area of focus was, I was focusing on the evaluation of growth of my 5th grade students' problem-solving abilities, because that is something that students do not like to do. They do not like to think about things and actually go through the hard work and do the problem-solving. So using science and technology, I wanted to try to use these skills with programming to see if I could give them more hands-on, concrete ways to do that. So my research question was, what impact, if any, does programming have on the development of problem-solving skills? My action plan is, during my science class, I first evaluated them by completing a pre-assessment. Then I introduced them to the concepts of the programming with the use of the Lego education we do. They then used the software to learn programming. Then we used the Legos into my science curriculum. And then I allowed them to design solutions for real-world science and technology challenges. So why programming? Today, programming is everywhere. Students are learning to code at a very early age. That's something I had to focus on last year because they were way more advanced than I was. So when I've seen these Legos actually last year at the Fire Summit, I was like, this is something that my kids would enjoy, they would like to do. So they learned programming by bringing their creations to life while building computational thinking skills like reasoning, pattern recognition, and modeling simulations. They will improve in problem solving, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and computational thinking while still having fun. They didn't really realize they were doing all of these things. They thought they were playing with Legos. So here are the resources. I was able to purchase 5 of the Lego Education We Do sets, and it shows you kind of where all the parts go, and we are one-to-one, so we were able to use our Chromebooks for the programming. Here are just some examples of some of the models that they could build. And I have a classroom of 22 kids, and these are designed for only 2 students. Well, I really had to get creative with my jobs. So I divided them up as a peacekeeper. They got to hand the pieces to the engineer. The engineer actually puts the pieces together. I had a manager who would read the directions and tell the engineer where the pieces would go. And then I would actually have the coder that would use the app to code the Legos to make them move. And I would rotate these jobs each time. So here are some pictures of my students actually getting to build them. So here is McGailey and Declan, and they were building this little guy, and Trinity and Akeisha. Here's some more. This is actually a little rover that would move. And there at the end, you see the same thing. Those were called Milo, so those were some examples they could make. Here we had a group of 4 that would work together, and then here we actually had a fan that would move as well. Here's some more examples, and I love the face here. Like, you can tell that she was really amazed and excited that these Legos were getting to move. Can you see if we can get this to play? This is just a quick little, maybe, fingers crossed, that it might do something. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a picture. Well, anyways, it's just a little video. They're actually coding it with the computers, and it will show the little rover driving across the table. It's okay. We can. And then here the fan was actually spinning around, so it was actually moving. And then here it's another with the little rovers going across. And you could even make this more advanced. The kids actually went on and they could build something by following the instructions. And then I had one that actually built a helicopter, and they could code it to lower the crank and pick something up with it. So the evaluation is, I did a pre and the post test of the students' ability to use their problem solving. And if you can see here, my pre-assessment, I had a 38%, and after incorporating the Legos, it actually increased to a 78%, and I did that by allowing the students to build and apply those problem-solving skills to real-life, concrete situations. So it showed a 40% increase in the scores after implementing the Lego activities. They were very engaged with hands-on activities, and they were able to make problem solving a concrete concept. So what went well was the cooperative groups, is the kids actually had to talk to one another and use those jobs, sharing the responsibilities, and an increase in their interest in programming and coding. I don't know how many kids went home and wanted these for Christmas, so they were really excited about that. Some improvements and next steps is just additional coding skills. I have some kids that were a little more advanced with the coding, allowing the students to create their own machines, because right now we were mostly focused on following those steps, and then just more time to devote to the Legos. Like, that's all they want to do at this point. And that's it.